Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I am showing the first and second session of deconditioning my dog to the Dremel. I got a Dremel Micro and I'm really excited to see how it goes. So first off, I am just turning the Dremel on and off at 15,000 RPM. And you can see that he's a little alert about the sound, but he's not overly alarmed or scared. If he was, I would have started the speed at a lower speed.
Good.
And every time, right after I turn it off, I mark with good or yes and reward him with a treat so that he can start associating the noise of the Dremel to be a good thing. And my dog Kai does know a place command, so here he is on his place cot in command, so he's not supposed to leave until I release him. I think this might help give him a clear boundary of all he needs to do is be on place and relax.
Good job. Good boy. Good.
Okay, and now I'm gonna start trying to tap the Dremel with it turned off onto his paws. So here I'm tapping with the base of the Dremel, but since it's turned off, I think it would have been totally fine to tap the tip of the Dremel as well.
Good.
And then I switch it up with some reps of the Dremel on and off again.
Good.
And I think a good point to note is that make sure you finish whatever action you are doing before rewarding with a treat. So rather than feeding him treats while the Dremel is on or feeding him treats while I'm still tapping, that could make it so that could like distract him instead of let him know that it's a good thing. Here I try asking for his paw to see if he's comfortable to give me a paw. I do notice that he's a little bit more hesitant about his front paws, so I move to his back paws. He's more comfortable with his back paws getting handled overall.
Good.
And here I'm still just tapping it on his nails with the Dremel off.
Good. Good.
Now I turn the Dremel on, but I turn it to the lowest setting, so it's at 5,000 RPM, and I use the base to tap it on his nails, just so he can start feeling a little bit of what the vibration might feel like. So it's not the tip of the Dremel, it's just the base of the Dremel. And when I turn it on, it's automatically on 15,000 RPM, so I actually hold it away from him, turn it on, and then I turn it down to 5,000 just so it's not so close to him.
Good job. Oh, such a good boy. Such a good boy.
I like that he is comfortable enough to lie down here. And another thing to note is that I know a lot of people, they want to make
Good.
nail clipping a completely positive experience, like where the dog is just so happy, salivating, and all that. But I think for us, as long as he's neutral, that's okay. As long as he's not overly stressed,
Good
not
boy.
overly scared, I'm still checking in on his body language, making sure he's not like panting heavily or really trying to avoid. You do notice he has like one or two
boy.
yawns. He maybe like pulls his paw away a little bit, but that's okay. I think that is all a reasonable and tolerable amount for him.
Good boy.
So this is where I'm going to end it in the first session. Almost 6 minutes and no actual running Dremel tapping onto his nails yet.
Good boy. All done.
Okay, so this is the next day and it's the second session. And I'm just going to quickly go over what we did in the first session for a handful of reps to kind of ramp up.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm turning the Dremel on and off and then
Good.
rewarding right after I turn it off.
Good.
And Kai is quite sensitive to noise, so that's why I put a bit more focus on turning the Dremel on and off, and sometimes I even turn it on to a slightly higher speed so it's even louder.
You want your side? Good boy.
Now I move on once again to tapping the Dremel onto his feet, onto his nails with it turned off so it's not running. And I start with his back paws because he's more comfortable with them. And when I'm tapping, I do hold his nails firmly because when it's actually running, you want to hold the nails firm so that it's less vibration on their nails. It's less uncomfortable. I move on to his front paws here, and he's doing really well with it. I also try tapping more than one nail before rewarding. And now I do the third thing we did in session 1, which is turn it on at its lowest speed and tap the base, not the tip, to his nails. Also want to note that I'm starting with a very fine sander, so I think the sand is at 240 grit, so that when I do actually start using it on his nails, it'll barely do anything. It'll basically just be like polishing his nails.
Good. Boy.
And he's doing really well. He's putting his head down. He's letting me do multiple nail taps without pulling away.
Good boy.
So the model I got is the Dremel Micro, and I actually bought it used because it turns out it's no longer like on sale in retail. I don't know why they discontinued it, but I really like it because it's a really good size. It's cordless,
What are you doing?
and there's like a bit of a
What are
light.
you doing? Oh,
Oh, here he's going a little bit belly up.
good.
To me, this is him kind of going like, "Are we done yet?" But not in a terribly uncomfortable way. Just in a, he's
Bless
gonna
you.
see if he can like get away with
Wait,
getting out of this, or he's just being cuddly. Could be both.
can I do this? Good. Good.
And here I'm making up my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a tap with it on his nails. So this is my first tap. And
Good
to recap, I
boy.
have it on at a lowest speed right now
Yeah.
with a 240 grit, so very fine, very low speed. I just do a quick like couple taps and then reward.
Good boy. Good job. Such a good boy.
And of course, like make sure you hold the nail firmly so that there's to minimize the vibration, and just
Good boy.
be confident in your movements as well. And that lets him know, like, I know what I'm doing. I got him. I got his back. It's okay.
Good boy. Where you go? You go on your side? Good boy. Good. That's such a good boy.
So I don't really know what the right, like, sanding speed and the best grit will actually be. So I think later on I'm going to start experimenting with coarser grits and slightly faster speed to see what works best on his
Good boy.
nails. His nails are fairly hard, I think.
You on your side? Good.
I just patiently wait him out there so that I could try it on his front
Good
paws.
boy. Good job.
And a tip I learned is that if he pulls away, then
Good boy.
that's totally okay, and I would just not reward that with a treat and just do another rep, and if he doesn't pull away, then I would reward.
Good boy.
So there's an example of that.
Good.
And now I reward. So my second session is a little longer, but I think you know, you can tailor it to where your dog is at and how they're doing. But I was fairly impressed with Kai that in the second session he was able to accept the taps with the Dremel on, and of course it's at low speed, so it's pretty quiet.
Good job.
If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below, and if you like this content, let me know as well, and I can keep recording some of our Dremel deconditioning sessions. Thanks for watching.
Good boy. All done.